We know we cannot shrink it or decrease the data disk or OS disk. And we also establish the understanding we cannot change the size of a disk until it is in use. So we either need to deallocate the VM or detach the disk to resize it. We have done all the demonstration with the help of Azure Portal. But today we are going to do with the help of PowerShell. Okay, because we all know whenever we do changes in the disk or in the VM, we need to update it to reflect it or to make it change in the real resource. All right, because you can change the size of the VM, but it will be in the session until you update it. If you update it, your VM will reboot, right? And you will get the new size of the VM. We are talking about the VM size. Similarly, if there is a disk, you increase the size of the disk, but again, you need to update Azure Disk to reflect the changes in the real resource on the Azure. Okay, but in our scenario, as we already know, our VM is running right now, so we'll definitely face the issue. Okay, means it would not allow us to update the Azure Disk. So it doesn't matter whether you use a CLI or a PowerShell, the concept remains the same. You cannot resize until the disk is in use. Okay, so right now I am logged in the same machine that I have put it in the variable. So what we need to do, we need to get the information of VM so that we can fetch the what we say disk information and extend it accordingly. Okay, so it's very simple. Get azvm. Okay, now we need to provide resource group, and we have this resource group right here. Okay, similarly we need to provide the VM name. So because we have already given the variable, so we are using the variable. We are inside the same VM. Okay, so that proves it is running. Okay, so let's run it. Now we have the information of this virtual machine inside this variable, and what we need the information of disk. So what we're gonna do, we'll do disk, we'll get the everything inside the variable disk. Okay, so it would be get Azure Disk with the information of resource group and the disk name. So I have this already written, so I'm pasting it right here. Get Azure Disk with this resource group, and what is the disk name? We are getting this information from this variable, because once we did get AZVM, this particular VM, so all the information of this VM is inside this variable, right? And from that enormous amount of information, we only need the information of data disk. Now this index right here will help us talk about which data disk you want to extend. In my VM, there is only one data disk. Okay, that's why it is 0 indexing, right? If I would have, let's suppose, 4 data disk and I want to change the size of LUN2, so I could have data disk indexing as 1. Okay, we know that already. All right, so now we have the information, everything stored in disk. We get the value, all the relevant information of get Azure Disk is inside this variable. Okay, so what we need now, we need to get the disk size here. Okay, disk size GB, and we need to assign, we need Okay, I- it's disk size. Come on, no intelligence this time, no problem. Disk size GB. Now we need to assign the size. It's a 50 gigs of disk, so I'm gonna give it 55. New size I have assigned for this attribute of the disk. All right, so let me assign it. Now it has assigned, but right now this is assigned inside the session that is going on, not on the Azure VM. So to do that, as I have already mentioned, we need to update it. So this is something will help us update AZ disk in the same resource group, this disk, and this is the disk.name. Okay, this new size would be assigned. Now if I try to run it, see we got the error here, right? Now you can see update AZ disk cannot resize disk data disk 01 while it is attached to the running VM, as I said before. So if we want to do this or perform this with the help of PowerShell, we need to add one more line here to stop it. Okay, and you can make a script out of it if you want, but this is the general way of doing it. I hope you like the PowerShell way of resizing disk, and thank you for watching.